Alright guys, it's your boy Kenny coming back with another one. I'm just gonna do a real quick review of the fiido L3 folding electric bike. But first, let me give a shout out to my Instagram handle, Kens Wire Art, Kens, Ken as in Nancy, S Wire, WIREART. Follow me, subscribe, comments will be much appreciated. Every artist needs support. When I'm not making wire art, I'm out doing deliveries. I've not done like a typical job in a long time, simply because it gets outdated, it gets boring. A whole bunch of people trying to take your energy, so you just want to focus on your mission and just do something that just keeps you in your own vibration and positive mood. The typical 9 to 5 is just too many idiots, so I get away from that and I do deliveries, Uber Eats. I do them all, On a typical 3-4 hour day, I can make as much as maybe $150-$200. On a slow day, maybe like $100. When I see the day slow, I cut it off. I go home and get on some more wires. I'll be make my website pretty soon, so you can check me out. And I also upload videos of me doing deliveries on my website, so you guys can, watch videos of me, just entertaining. This is entertaining. Doing deliveries is entertaining. When people watch you do deliveries, it's really entertaining, and it's fun for me. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. So let's go. So I had the fiido L2. I did a review when I had that bike. I did a review up to about a year ago, and that's a really fantastic bike. But I had one major problem with the fiido L2. The front fork here, the inner gearings was having problems. When you turn it, it starts making this squeaky sound. And I took it to a bike shop and they checked it out and they said that I have to have it replaced, otherwise this is going to come off. So I contacted fiido, and unfortunately fiido does not make the L2 anymore. They stopped making the L2, so they could not send me the front fork. So they gave me a refund for my money and apologized. And I was like, what the fuck? I need a bike ASAP. I don't like the big bikes, so I'm not going to go that route. I need something small, but something that I can, when I have problems, they can give me the parts. I can find the parts available. I checked rads, their bikes are too big for me. Even though I'm a big guy, I just like the smaller bikes, like I like the smaller women. So I checked again fiido, and I saw like the L3. I was like, what is that? The L3? And I saw a slight difference in the L3 and the L2. I was like, wow, this is a different bike, but it looks the same. And it's advertised as 23 amp hour battery. 23 amp hour battery, that looks pretty fun. I think I'm gonna go for that. And I tried to reach out to Alibaba, and they said that I contacted this company and blah, 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 blah. Long story short, they had the bike to me in about a week. They shipped it out from their US warehouse, which was really, really cool. I got it really fast. Talk about manifesting things pretty quickly. I was really happy I received this bike, and this is my second day having this bike, the fiido L3. Slight differences. The first obvious one, not so obvious, is the battery. It's a 23 amp hour battery instead of the 20 amp hour battery. So I've not tested it out. I'm not a guy to ride and see. I'm just gonna work Grubhub and see how far, how much battery is left when I at the end of the day. But so far it seems like a huge battery. They took out a lot of things from the fiido L3. A lot of things were taken out. One major obvious one is the shocks. The shocks on the front and the back tires were taken out. I don't know why they did that. They wanted to make the bike look more simpler. And instead of the shocks, they put like some kind of spring on the seat. The spring was put on the seat, so when you go over bumps, you feel some kind of bounce because of the spring on the seat. I think the bike is shorter now. They edited a lot of things that made it look a little more rugged. Just heads up, I'm in Burger King waiting for orders, so I decided to make this video while I am here in Burger King waiting for orders. But let's continue. So if you see people passing by, don't feel like I'm in a weird place. So let's continue. The L3 has they retained the 350 watt motor, just like the first one. They also retain the another obvious change is right here. Instead of just a typical LCD, they have an LCD display that shows you the battery. The battery percentage is full right here, and it shows you your speed, how fast you're going, and in kilometers per hour. It just has two buttons. The second button here is for the pedal assist gauge. To if you're going up higher hills, you want to increase the pedal assist, so you can. It gives you more power. We pulls more battery power from the battery, but you would need that when you're going up really steep hills. You cannot be on pedal assist 1. You want to be on pedal assist 3 or 2 to give you more of that jolt, more of that boost. Okay, over to the front tire. It has the light as usual, and I think the horn this time around is louder. And another downside is that the rear lights, the red one, anytime the bike is on, it just stays on continuously, which I don't think is a good thing compared to the fiido L2. When the bike is on, the rear light does not stay on. Okay, it just went up because I think it stays on for about 5 minutes or something like that, and it goes off if you don't, ride a bike. You have to turn it back on, which is cool. But compared to the fiido L2, the L3, the fiido L2, when the bike is on, the rear light does not come on. The rear light only comes on when you pump the brakes, and it just it corresponds to you braking. It's like a brake light. But now they changed it so that people who are riding behind you, they can always see the rear light on, so they know that you are there, rather than you just it coming on only when you brake, because someone might not see you and the person might just hit you. Sometimes you might find yourself in a predicament where you're in between cars and they have to see you. The person could be drunk, so they have to see you. So I think they made it shorter. It's not as long as the fiido L2, and they try to hide the wires more this time around, because the fiido L2 has all the wires going all the way to the side. So I think what they did, they put the wires inside this little bar thing here because they wanted to make it look neat, which I totally agree with, because even though the fiido L2 looks like a fancy bike, someone told me once, why does it have all the wires sticking out like that? And I was like, I don't know. Contact the company. I gave him their phone number. Yeah, what else? The big battery, 23 amp hour, it says. I've not tested it out yet. But yesterday I rode for about 3 hours and I lost 1 bar. And I watched the video, and the video said that each bar typically represents about 20% of battery life. So which might make sense, because if I rode for 3 hours and I lost 1 bar, then maybe if I rode for another 3 hours, I lose another bar. Which makes it makes sense if you ask me. So they changed a lot of things. They changed there used to be where the rear shocks was, but it's simpler now. And they got rid of the back seat. The back seat is no longer there, which I think I don't know. That back seat I just like it, even though you don't want to. You would look like 2 clowns if you rode on the back seat with a passenger. But I still feel like that back seat is not so much of a bad idea. I think the back seat works out pretty well for me, but they took it away. Why they did, the company says they want to make it much more simpler, much more crisp. This right here, I had to start wearing that because I fell down once. I never thought it could happen to me, but I did. And God helped me, I almost broke my knee. Like, I fell down concrete 3 times in 1 month, and my knee was bastardized, but I'm feeling better now. It's healed. So it comes with pedals that can be folded inside. Those, I had on the L2 as well, but I had to change it because after a while, they got really they broke off, so I had to replace it with another type. So one on the downside, this place doesn't feel like it can extend as long as the L2. Um, I think they're pretty much the same thing, but if you ask me, I think the L2 might just be a little bit longer than the L3. When you talk about the bar, this bar, the handlebar pole. What else? It's a lot simpler. It's lighter to carry, and it folds a lot quicker. The L2 fold takes a minute. The joints there, it's really stiff, so you have to do a whole lot of locking and loading and moving things around and forcing